What's going on, YouTube? Ferocity here. Hope you guys are doing well. Verdansk is back. Firing Range is back. But the real question is Call of Duty back? That's what I want you to answer down below in the comment section. Is Call of Duty back? Do you feel bringing back nostalgia has brought Call of Duty to a new era? Finally moved them forward instead of continuously taking steps backwards? Now, for myself personally, I'm going to be completely honest and transparent with you guys. I haven't played a second of Season 3 or Verdansk. I just haven't had time. There is some stuff going on in my personal life that I won't go into in this video, but I have not been able to play, unfortunately. Bad timing. But nonetheless, I do want to go through some of what has happened within the Call of Duty community over the past few days. Because even though we have the return of Verdansk, the return of Firing Range, Season 3 for Black Ops 6, it hasn't been a smooth road. It all started, of course, with the update that came out for Season 3, causing issues on Battle.net. This from Charlie Intel. There appears to be issues with launching Call of Duty on Battle.net after the update. No updates yet on the fix, and then later on Call of Duty updates did confirm that they fixed it. But it wasn't only Battle.net that was causing problems. Xbox also had issues. Again, from Charlie Intel. Xbox says they're investigating the issues with the new Call of Duty update not working properly. This is like worst case scenario. And I don't necessarily want to put this all on Call of Duty. Some of this does fall on Xbox. But like, man, these updates continuously seem to be fumbled. Like, this isn't the first time. And with the scale that Season 3 was supposed to be, you feel like these mistakes and these shortfalls should have been ironed out. Like, it's just inexcusable to me. I know that it didn't cause a massive issue, but still, it just feels like things slip through the cracks too often with this franchise. And it's to the detriment to the community. Like, regardless of your feelings towards Black Ops 6 or Warzone, you're still excited to try out new content. And it should matter, and it should work for the community. But it just feels like it's so often something going wrong, something preventing you from being able to play. And it's extremely frustrating. Now, is this within Call of Duty's power? Not necessarily, right? Like, you don't know what's going on Xbox's side. We don't know what's going on Battle.net's side. These are both launchers for the game. But it just feels, again, like they've missed the boat here. And that's the disappointing part. And then there was the issue with the Kilo not unlocking when you logged into Warzone. Like, players weren't able to access this gun that you were supposed to get as a free reward for just logging into Warzone. How is that a thing? Like, I know this stuff has been fixed. Don't get me wrong. I know that. But it still matters that they fumbled it. Like, you can't just give them a pass and say, oh, they fixed it. It's like all the bugs in the game. Oh, don't worry, they fixed it. It's like, but like, we should have a higher standard for not letting this happen. Like, you told the entire community a long time ago, hey, you guys are going to get a free gun for just logging into Warzone during its 24-hour downtime. And they couldn't even have the weapon unlocked properly. Like, how do you not have that working optimally? It blows my mind. But it wasn't all doom and gloom. See, after they went through the initial issues for Season 3's launch, Verdansk overall went over pretty well. I mean, Charlie Intel even said this. This actually might be one of the most stable Warzone updates in years. That is a glowing review from somebody who I would say covers Call of Duty pretty unbiased. Like, they're pretty honest. Sure, you might say they shill here and there, but that's somebody that I can at least trust with their overall synopsis of what's going on. Maybe I'm not going to feel the same way when I dive into Verdansk, when I dive into Black Ops 6, but regardless, I think it's important that other people share the sentiment that, yeah, Warzone has a more stable experience now. And they needed it. And I talked about how important it was for Warzone to come out with stability, for it to be a good update. Like, they needed this update to start them in the right direction for future progress to be made. And that's really my takeaway is, yeah, your initial launch has gone well. Season 3 was a bit of a hiccup for Black Ops 6. But, I mean, it matters what you do from here. You can't just say we did one good thing and now that absolves us from years of negativity. It doesn't. It's about utilizing this momentum and actually creating sustainability from it. And I mean, already the success from this update is showing. The Steam charts are a glowing endorsement for what Call of Duty has done here. We've seen a boost of like over 100% of players. That's great. We need to maintain that momentum. That's the goal here. That's what the return of Verdansk is supposed to bring. Sustainability and momentum. But unfortunately, all of that momentum came to an abrupt halt, especially on Battle.net, because they were dealing with a DDoS attack. Just out of the blue. And this isn't the first time this has happened this past like month. I mean, I get it happened in late March, but still, like over the last week and a half, there's been multiple DDoS attacks on Battle.net. Now, you can say that some of this is because of anti-cheat measures that have been brought in and cheaters are mad, so they're taking out their anger on the servers. I don't really care what is causing these DDoS attacks. What matters is how Call of Duty handled it. And I guess they handled it pretty abruptly, but still, man, it feels like Call of Duty just cannot maintain momentum. They take one step forward and something always forces them backwards. And a lot of this was outside of their control. It's not their fault that Xbox didn't want to work properly with the update for Season 3. Maybe, maybe not. It wasn't necessarily their fault that Battle.net didn't work properly. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. I'm not privy to that information. But it most certainly wasn't their fault that Battle.net got DDoSed. But a lot of this stuff just always seems to happen to Call of Duty. Always around a time of a new season. Something is going wrong. Something slips through the cracks. So as great as Season 3 might be, as great as the return of Verdansk might be, there's always something else negative looming around this franchise. And that sucks. Like, I honestly want all of this to be a massive celebration. I want it to be something that is heralded as a great step forward for Call of Duty. But from the news alone, it's like, man, there's always this negative side that comes in with the positive side. And it just kind of makes you feel sort of dejected from the entire franchise. And that's not how I want to feel. Again, I'm going to dive into Season 3 here shortly. I'm going to dive into Verdansk shortly. And I'll have some opinions that I'm going to share with all of you. But just from the news alone, it feels like, again, Call of Duty was trying to take strides forward, and outside influences force them to just kind of stay stagnant. Now, I hope that the gameplay itself is far improved, and we actually have something extremely fun on our hands. Like, that's what we deserve, and that's what I want. That is honestly what I want. I want to hop into Black Ops 6 and have a ton of fun playing Firing Range. I want to hop into Verdansk and have a ton of fun playing OG Warzone. We'll see. I'm very curious. So maybe you've already played it. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it down below in the comment section. I'd also love to know your experience personally when it came to the launch of all of this new content and this rehash content as well. Were you let down by servers not working properly? Were you disappointed with the fact that Call of Duty was getting DDoSed and we were experiencing problems with the launchers? Like, I'd love to hear your thoughts, anything and everything down below in that comment section, just to kind of fill me in on what I might have missed during my time away. Don't worry. It's done. It's over with. I'll be back covering Call of Duty full time again. So I really appreciate your guys' support. Honestly, if you're stuck around this long, I thank you so much. Please hit that like button. If you're new to the channel and you've watched a few videos, please consider subscribing. Honestly, I'm pushing for 4,000 subscribers. I'd love to hit it sooner rather than later, maybe before my birthday. That'd be great. But nonetheless, I do want to hear from you guys down below in that comment section. So I cannot tell you how much I want that, because I want this to be a discussion. This is about you guys, the community. So I need to hear about it down below. And that's it for the video. So thank you again, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.